Joining me now is Kansas Congressman Ron Estes. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. You've warned that if Democrats do not reopen the government soon, 93,000 Kansas households could lose their SNAP benefits. My point is, I think we're at a choke point now. With all of these delays and air traffic control working without pay or calling in sick, this is going to have a material impact on the economy in the fourth quarter. And it will be the blame of Democrats. So my sense is that, my opinion is that they're going to collapse soon. They're going to have to cave and open this government. Now, the analyst at Cowan and Company has a report out, and this is Chris Kruger. He says government likely reopened by November 14th. He's expecting a one-year clean Affordable Care Act subsidy extension for the 1 year and super committee potential off-ramps. What are you expecting?
Well, I do expect that the Democrats at some point in time are going to have to come to their senses and realize what damage they're causing. You look at, like you said, the 93,000 Kansans and who are suffering because of food stamps, and so many TSA agents and law enforcement, Border Patrol, folks that are actually working to protect us that aren't getting paid and having to figure that out. And the Democrats continue to do the filibuster and trying to say that they want to keep these COVID bailouts on the Obamacare. And unfortunately, I do think the election is one of those things, one of those reasons why they were trying to hold this leverage through the election to help them on the elections across so many of the states in the country. But now they've got to come down and let's focus on what it takes to operate the government.
So you think that the results of these elections today will be an impact?
I do think it'll have an impact. The problem is you could argue which way it goes. I mean, if you if you end up having the governorship split between New Jersey and Virginia, then what's the Democrats' talking points after that? And so it's kind of I don't know what they're how they're going to get themselves out of the corner they've backed themselves into. It really is problematic what they've created and done.
Meanwhile, we'll have a lot of news on tariffs. Of course, the Supreme Court will hear President Trump's emergency case, whether or not he is able to use tariffs in an emergency, or is it the purview of Congress? The Supreme Court will hear that this week on Wednesday. And then you've got this. French lawmakers are moving ahead with plans to double a tax on U.S. big tech, including Google, Apple, Meta, Amazon. They want to raise that tax from 3% to 6%. Now, 6% is lower than the previously suggested 15%. But President Trump is warning that if taxes go any higher on big tech, it could trigger trade retaliation, Congressman. You say France's potential move is proving its discriminatory nature against U.S. companies, right? Tell us more.
It really is discriminatory against U.S. companies. I mean, we've been focusing, and the U.S. Treasury has been working really well with OECD to fix some of the problems with this Pillar 2 global minimum tax they've had out there. And so now France is coming back and doubling their digital services tax, trying to attack any company that uses electronics. And they specifically, as you said, doubled it, but they also changed the definition of who would be liable for it. So basically, it's targeting U.S.-based companies because of the size of the company, and it's inappropriate. It's actually a direct attack on the United States and U.S.-based businesses. I've been a vocal critic through that. President Trump has some tools like Section 301 and even Section 891 as ways to help out. I mean, we're more than willing in Congress, a lot of us, in terms of being able to stand up for U.S. businesses, and we can pass additional legislation to help address this. This is just the wrong direction for us to go, for the world to go, as we're working at how do we maintain good trade and good global economy.
Well, we'll see if there is a retaliatory tariff or an increased tariff on France as a result. I know President Trump has spoken very often about this as well. He's not happy with it. Congressman, thanks very much for weighing in. We'll be watching all of that. Thank you, sir. Ron Estes joining us this morning. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.